What's up guys, JB2017 here, and today I'm going to share my level 30 build that I will be using to play nuka-world. We have 2 more days before the DLC launches, and so it's a great time to make sure you have the best build possible heading into nuka-world. Before we begin the video, I want to let you all know that I will be live streaming nuka-world here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central on August 29th, right when the DLC launches. Then I'll be streaming my entire playthrough for a few hours every single day until I complete the DLC along with my regular tips and tricks videos. So there will be plenty of nuka-world on my channel over the next month, so I hope you all are prepared for that. So there's a few things I've kept in mind when crafting this nuka-world build, and first and foremost, it's to cater to the nuka-world content. And so with Automatron, for example, there were specific perks and whatnot that you needed to build robots. However, with nuka-world, it's more like Far Harbor this time around because we don't have specific perks necessarily that we should go for. Maybe with Far Harbor you could argue that you needed, rad resistant or something like that to get rid of the radiation, but there's nothing super specific this time around. However, we have heard from Bethesda and also from people that have talked about leaks for nuka-world that it is a little more difficult. It's a little more difficult than the standard content in the game. And so for that reason, the main emphasis for this build is on dealing as much damage as possible through the agility and luck tree. So let's go ahead and hop in and look at my special build. We have 4 strength, 4 perception, 3 endurance, 3 charisma, 3 intelligence, 6 agility, and 6 luck. And that is a 29-point build that includes the special book at the beginning of the game, but it doesn't include the perception bobblehead. I just didn't, bother to grab that. So you could put that extra point into perception or keep perception at 4 and, put that extra point elsewhere. Once again, the emphasis is on dealing a lot of damage, and agility and luck, in my opinion, are some of the best ways to do that. And so some of the other stats you can tell, endurance, charisma, and intelligence, those are all kind of my lowest stats because those aren't as important for this build, especially if I want to deal a ton of damage. Those 3 categories really don't help me get there. I wanted to keep strength at 4 just because inventory concerns are a constant thing in a Fallout game. I just don't want to have to deal with that in this DLC. I don't want to be picking stuff up and being like, I have to drop that. That's kind of something I want to avoid. So I kept strength at 4 for that reason, and also I'm taking Lone Wanderer. We're going to talk about perks in just a second here. Perception is at 4 for Locksmith and also just for accuracy reasons in VATS, and I'm going to be using automatic weapons, so perception is something I need a little bit of more points in, but as I said before, agility and luck are the focuses for this build, so they're going to be at 6, and of course those are going to increase as I level up through the DLC. Moving on, now we're going to take a look at the perks for this build, and keep in mind the main focus for this build is on damage, but this time around I wanted to do something different, something I had really not focused on and taken, very far into a build ever before, and that's with automatic weapons and the Commando perk. That's going to be my direct damage perk for this build. And the main reason I wanted to do this is because of the new AK variant that kind of looks like the Chinese assault rifle. Not really sure if that's what it is because we don't know at this moment in time, but I'm sure you can also make that weapon semi-auto. We saw kind of a semi-auto variant with a sniper scope. It sounds like the gun is, highly customizable, which is something we expect, but I'm going to keep it automatic and I'm going to go with Commando because I've never really taken a Commando build past level 10. So this is what I'm picking this time around. So here are my perks in no particular order up to level 30. So we have Action Boy, 2 ranks of that. Obviously Action Boy helps with those action points if you're going to be attacking a lot of enemies at once. We've seen swarms of ghouls, swarms of ants, flying ants, and there's going to be all kinds of crazy weird creatures in this DLC. And so Action Boy makes a lot of sense if my agility is already that high. I took awareness because I want to know as much about the enemies in nuka-world as possible before I get into fights with them. So for example, if I run into a battle as a 30 and I'm fighting a level 37, that's probably not going to go over well with me. I need to get a sneak critical in there. It's just a good all-around perk, and that's why I wanted to bring it. Next is better criticals, and obviously criticals are huge. If you land criticals, you're going to be able to take out a lot of enemies, very quickly, maybe even before they're able to hit you. And so better criticals is always a great perk if you invest in the luck. So I took 2 ranks of that. I also took 2 ranks of Bloody Mess. I always like taking Bloody Mess just for that extra flat damage boost on the top of everything that you do. It just makes a lot of sense for me if combat is a main focus. Next up is Commando. Like I said, this is a build focusing on automatic weapons and this new AK variant, and I want to, keep using that weapon throughout this DLC. So we're taking 3 ranks of Commando to boost up that automatic weapon damage. That's what we're going to be using most of the time. I have 2 ranks of Idiot Savant, and this is merely for leveling up. I mean, it's not super important important in this DLC. Level 30 is the bare minimum, and I believe you can absolutely handle this DLC at level 30. That's what I'm going into, so I certainly hope so. But we're taking 2 ranks of Idiot Savant just for that extra XP. Since I'm not really focusing in intelligence, I still want to make sure I'm getting enough XP. Next is Gun Nut for obvious reasons. I want to be able to modify my weapons, and 3 ranks of Gun Nut is the maximum I can take at this level. And so I want to make sure and get the high, the best receiver, the best, stock, the best everything on my weapons. And so Gun Nut is really a no-brainer. I'm going to be taking in an assault rifle, I believe, into nuka-world at first. And then of course I'll be picking up that AK variant kind of weapon, modifying that. So that's why I'm taking Gun Nut. I wanted to take 3 ranks of Life Giver because I have heard once again that this DLC isn't the easiest. It is a DLC that Bethesda themselves have said, we want this to be for the higher level characters, for you guys to, to have a challenge, because a lot of people have said Fallout 4 is too easy, blah, 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 blah. So from what I've heard from some leaks here and there, people have either said, yes, it is a more challenging thing, or no, it's just as easy as anything else. So it's really a your mileage may vary kind of situation. So if you like to go with sneak and land a lot of critical headshots and whatnot, then this will probably be a breeze. It won't be very difficult, but if you like to go in survival and you like to play a certain playstyle or roleplay or whatever, it may be challenging for you. Either way, I wanted to have that peace of mind with Life Giver, get some extra hit points, and of course at the final rank get some actual health regeneration. So that's why I went with Life Giver. Next, I took 3 ranks of Locksmith because in the developer stream on Twitch, there were a lot of different doors throughout the gauntlet that needed to be unlocked. A lot of master picks even that required, bobby pins and rank 3 of Locksmith. And so that's what I'm taking into the DLC. I just want to explore as much as possible in nuka-world. I don't want any, doors to hold me back on that. So that's why I'm bringing Locksmith. I'm also bringing 2 ranks of Lone Wanderer up to the maximum level at 30. And the reason for this is there's no specific vanilla companion that actually adds to this DLC. I think only 2 companions have extra lines in this DLC, and they're not even that important. And so with Lone Wanderer, it's so good. It's such a good perk if you're okay with not traveling with a companion like I am. And so it gives you extra damage, extra carry weight. It's just a fantastic perk if you're okay with not bringing a companion with you. Next, I took 2 ranks of Mysterious Stranger just because this is something I haven't taken a lot in Fallout 4. However, it's one of my favorite perks. I really like the little noise. I like the whole, who is a mysterious stranger kind of thing going on, and I already have the luck, and so that made sense for that. And then finally, 4 ranks of Sneak. So in the stream with the developers for nuka-world, there were a lot of traps throughout the gauntlet, and so Sneak, I thought, immediately that's going to help with that. But also, in my opinion, Sneak is one of the best combat perks. If you're able to get that first shot in when you're engaging an enemy, you get the sneak critical immediately, and the higher your sneak rank goes, the better you're able to maintain, that you'll get that sneak critical, and it's just a fantastic all-around perk. So that's why I went with Sneak. So anyways, guys, that was the special and all of my perk choices for my build, and I want to hear what you guys are taking to nuka-world. Is there a specific build that you're going to take, a specific weapon you're going to focus on, like for me with the AK variant? Let me know what you guys are planning to do in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared my level 30 nuka-world DLC build, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more nuka-world coverage, my nuka-world stream, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time, peace.